Many people are affected from epilepsy. Epilepsy is an often overlooked disorder, yet it affects a large portion of our population. It is for this reason that I'll be discussing the statistics and medications of epilepsy, as well as the side effects these medications cause and the impact it has on an individual. I happen to be one of the people who are affected from epilepsy, not directly but within my family. My younger brother is diagnosed with epilepsy. Anytime he has a seizure, it usually lasts about a minute or longer. After it is over, he usually becomes very tired. Firstly, I'll give an overview of epilepsy. For those of you who don't know, epilepsy is a neurological order that causes people to have recurring seizures, and a seizure is a sudden surge of electrical activity within the brain. With this in mind, I'll provide you with the prevalence and incidence of epilepsy. Epilepsy in the United States is estimated to affect 150,000 or 48 out of 100,000 people, as stated by Epilepsy Foundation on April of 2004. This means that 48 out of 100,000 people, or 150,000 people, will develop epilepsy each year. According to Newsweek in their April 10th of 2009 article, epilepsy in America is as common as breast cancer and takes just as many lives. This bar graph provides an estimated projected prevalence of epilepsy through 2020. As of now, in 2016, there are between 3 million and 3,500,000 cases of epilepsy. By the time 2020 comes around, there are expected to be more than 4 million cases of epilepsy in the United States. Next, I'll discuss how to diagnose epilepsy. Diagnosing epilepsy can be very difficult considering the many different causes and syndromes. It is important to gather elaborate and accurate information and provide as much as possible to your doctor. Many tests are then performed, such as physical and neurological exams. Another important part in diagnosing epilepsy is neuroimaging. This is pictures taken of the brain's activity and structure. Genetic testing also plays a role when it comes to diagnosing epilepsy. When a patient has been accurately diagnosed, medications come into the picture. Medications are prescribed to patients in order to control their epilepsy. The effect these medications cause can be very negative to a patient's life. Some of the simpler effects include dizziness, fatigue, headaches, and nausea. Some of the more complex effects include behavioral and mood changes, sleeping and learning problems, and unexplained injuries and illnesses. Behavioral and mood changes can cause a patient to become suicidal. This happens because patients will become depressed, anxious, and irritable when taking their medications. Finally, I will discuss the impact epilepsy has on the individual who is diagnosed. Epilepsy affects the patient's day-to-day life. Their quality of life is especially interrupted when the side effects caused by their medication begins to kick in. Their job, daily activities, and social life can be negatively affected due to this. Patients' quality of life is also disturbed. I hope now you understand how widespread, overlooked, and serious epilepsy truly is. Even though you might not be affected from it directly, the person standing in front of you in the grocery store line could be, or the person behind you at the McDonald's drive-thru. Thank you.